Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of HVAC Technician Talk. Whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening to the audio podcast, I appreciate it either way. So I wanted to go live today and talk about Rheem and Rude with their new SEER 2 equipment. I really want to do that live, but my channel is not eligible to go live for another 24 hours, I guess, because it's such a new channel. But so we're going to talk about what I think is a very important topic for your HVAC business, and that's 24-hour service. 24-hour service, at least here in Louisiana, in my opinion, can make or break your business. A lot of companies here don't offer 24-hour service. Meaning, and when I say 24-hour service, I'm not talking about going out at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning to do a repair, which, I mean, if you advertise 24-hour service and somebody's willing to pay, you have to go do it. I mean, I've went out at midnight. But it's not often. But what I like about 24-hour service is it lets the customer know that your telephone is on 24 hours a day. Because a lot of people will say, oh man, it's 5 o'clock. I bet you they're not open, blah, blah, blah. And, I have gotten so many phone calls from people saying, yeah, I looked on Google and, you said 24-hour service. Everybody else said close. So I called you and it was like 5:30 in the afternoon or 6 in the evening, 7 in the evening. Sometimes you could put that off till the next day or you go out at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. But, a lot of times, but the point is that it lets that customer know that your telephone is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if they don't have air conditioning or heat, they can get in touch with you. Especially here in Louisiana during the summertime when it's 100 degrees, 105 degrees outside, and they need AC on a Saturday or a Sunday or at 6 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock in the evening, 8 o'clock in the evening. They Google you and they see 24-hour service. They see 24-hour service, they're going to call you. It gives your customer peace of mind. And it lets them know, hey, this guy is going to be there for us. I have picked up so many customers just because they call me and they say, well, we saw that your Google page said 24-hour service. So I think 24-hour service is a very, very important, part of business. It's a very important part of my business. That's for sure. I always advertise 24-hour service on my business cards, my magnets for the refrigerators, my phone book ads. My website says it, my Google page, Facebook page. 24-hour service is it's a big deal. And I don't mind, like this time of the year, it's not a big deal, but during peak season, I don't mind going out at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. People are like, oh, you're crazy for doing 24-hour service. I ain't going out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Guys, in 20 years, I ain't never been to nobody's house at 3 o'clock in the morning. The latest I've ever been out, I got a phone call at midnight. The guy had just got home from work. He had a weird work schedule, and he had no AC, and he was willing to pay whatever. And I went out at midnight. That's the latest I've ever went out. Now, the earliest I've ever went out is at 5 in the morning. The phone will ring at 5 in the morning. They're like, hey, we have no air. Can you come now? Sure. It's peak season. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day anyway. So, at 5 in the morning, it's like, yeah, I'll just come catch you now. I'll put you in front of everybody. Now they're charged overtime for that. But as long as they're willing to pay, it is what it is. So I don't mind at all, if they're willing to pay. And I'm telling you, if you are not 24-hour service, you should be advertising 24-hour service. I mean, like I said, it's not so much about going out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, in 20 years, I've never done it. I've been out at midnight and I've been out at 5 in the morning, but I mean, like I said, I get up at 6 in the morning every day anyway. So if somebody wants to call me at 5 a.m. and pay overtime, I'll go catch them and put them in front of everybody. I'll put them in front of everybody I got for that day. Doesn't bother me a bit. When it's peak season here, you got to get it while you can. So it's something that if you guys don't have it, you should really think about it. It could pick you up a lot of business. It really can. It's about peace of mind for that customer, and just knowing that you're there for them Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Now a lot of you guys don't like to work Saturday and Sunday. That's your prerogative. But I tell you what, you're missing out on a lot of work, because during peak season over here, I've been called out on Saturdays, went to the customer's house. They got a dead compressor. The inside's made for 410A. And I was replacing a condenser that day. Got the supply house to open up. Included the supply house open up fee into the price of the new unit. Customer had no issue paying for none of that. I mean, I've picked up a lot of work on Saturday. Sunday too, Sunday morning after church, somebody gets home, they have no air. They call you, hey man, we just got home from church and it's 80 degrees in the house and it was cool this morning in the house. Can you come out today? Sure. Now, like I said, this time of the year, it's not a problem. But during peak season, I'm prepared. I know I got to work my ass off. So I don't mind going out at all. So especially for people that are in high temperature climates, like Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, you should really, if you don't advertise 24-hour service, you should reconsider. Because I'm telling you right now, I have picked up, I've had customers tell me, I used to use so-and-so. I called them. They didn't answer the phone. But since you came out on a Saturday or you came out at 8 o'clock tonight or blah, 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 I'm not using them no more. Give me some cards. I'm using you. I want somebody like you that's available. I give them cards. I give them, I have magnets for people to put on their refrigerators. Customers love those. And I have taken customers away from other companies. Not because I tried to, but because they saw that I was 24-hour service. And when I went out there, they said, if you're willing to come out, then we want to use you. So it has picked me up a lot of customers. And I've done condenser changeouts right there on the spot because of it. So, it is what it is. And, there's this topic is frowned upon by a lot of HVAC guys that say, oh, I'm not working after 5 o'clock, or I'm not working Saturday, I'm not working Sunday, Hey, that's just more for us guys that, that don't mind. And look, I'm a new business. I'm only going on 4 years in and I'm hungry. I've lost all this weight now and I'm hungry. I'm chasing it. A lot of people you'll hear that. I'm not chasing no extra work. Well, I am. I'm trying to grow this business and grow my clientele. So I am chasing it. So I advertise 24-hour service like crazy, and I don't mind going out because I'm trying to pick up customers and grow my clientele. And it works. It really does work. So 24-hour service, in my opinion, is a must-have on your HVAC business. It just gives like I said, it gives the customer peace of mind that you're there for them no matter what, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even after 5 o'clock in the evening, they can call you. And again, there's been people that called me at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I'm like, well, look, it doesn't sound like you're in that big of a bind. How about, can I come out in the morning? And they're like, oh yeah. It's just the fact that they can get in touch with you that day, that evening, or on Saturday. People on Saturdays, I've put them off till Monday. You know, I play it by ear. You know, I'm not going to lose a job. If they want me to come out, I'm going to come out. But sometimes, you know, even on Saturday, Sunday, you can put them off till Monday. It's just about them being able to get in touch with you. And you can get out there and do a good job. And you go out there when nobody else is willing. I mean, I'll give you an example. A lot of these companies around here, one of the companies I used to work for, excuse me, one of the companies I used to work for, we weren't really 24-hour service. He shut the phones down at 9 o'clock at night. And after that, we were free, you know, even on the weekends. He shut his phones down at 9 o'clock and we were free to do, you know, that way if we wanted to go out and stuff, that was cool, but my phone never shuts down. It's always, I mean, I got two phones. It's right here. This is the business phone. This is my personal phone. So, for those of you that are listening to this on audio podcast, I just held up two phones. So, anyway, yeah, you know, it doesn't bother me a bit, and I think it's a great thing to have, and I think it could really benefit your business if you don't have it. Well, guys, that's all I got for you on this one. If you guys want to text me some topics, or if you have any questions, for those of you listening on the audio podcast, I gave the wrong phone number on the last one. So I'm looking it up on my phone for you guys to make sure I give the right one to you guys watching on YouTube. Here's the phone number right here. And for those of you listening on the audio podcast, you can text me at 337-541-1252. Again, that's 337-541-1252. Shoot me a text. Give me some ideas for a future topic. And the podcast is on Stitcher and Spotify. It is not on Apple Podcast yet because of my artwork. Apple is saying there's something wrong with my artwork, although Stitcher and Spotify had no problem with it. So if there's anybody watching or listening that can help me get my artwork right so that Apple will take the podcast, please let me know. For those of you listening to the audio podcast on Stitcher or Spotify, text me at 337-541-1252 if you know a way for me to get my artwork right so that I can get my podcast on Apple Podcast. It's ready to go. It's been approved and everything. It just won't let me publish it because it says my artwork is not to their specifications. And I have tried everything I know to try to get my artwork correct, and they won't take it. So I really don't know what to do. But for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. And for those of you listening on the audio podcast, thank you for listening. I truly appreciate it. And I hope to go live tomorrow and talk about Rheem and Rude Seer 2 equipment. I'm a Rheem dealer. I love Rheem, but they really dropped the ball on their Seer 2 equipment. Not meaning it's not going to be good equipment, meaning that it's not available. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow when we can go live. Hopefully I can go live on my new channel tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we will see and talk to you guys on the next one.